Hi, everybody. I'm Beth English. I'm from Nashville, Tennessee, and I'm joined here today with my friend Sergio Gomez. Say, hey, Sergio.
Hi, Beth. How are you? And good to see all our friends as well.
Good to see you. I'm so excited to be here today with you, talking about the things that are most passionate to us and sharing with our communities and people around the world. And today's topic I'm really excited about. I want to talk about listening, how to build community.
I love that topic. I think that's something that we all need more of, listening.
And, one thing that I love about building community is that I've been doing it for over 20 years. And because I love people and I love bringing people together. And it's not as easy as it sounds because we have to have sort of special leadership skills to be able to do that. And one of the top leadership skills that I have been using lately is listening.
That's interesting. That's very cool. And I'm sure it has changed because the dynamics of how you listen on a live event or person to person versus how we do it now through also the social distancing and social media and all that has changed.
It has. I mean, there's two different ways of listening in that sense, but I think at the core of it, it's about being present with yourself and being present with others. One thing that I've been doing I run the Nashville Creative Group, and for the last 8 years, we were holding live events where we would create a safe space for people to open up, share their work, and we would be actively listening to the things that they would say and then have conversations about it afterwards, not only in person, but also online as well. And I think the reason why our community is so successful in creating connection with one another is that we all practice active listening and respect towards one another, no matter the art that we create. And I think that is so important in building trust and building those relationships. And so I just want to talk a little bit about how is it that we can be better listeners.
Absolutely. I love that. And as one who visited your community in Nashville, I think, I don't know, maybe 3 years ago or so, and we had a chance to speak to your community. It was really nice because everyone was so welcoming, and we just had such a great impact after that. After the event, then we went out for dinner with many of the artists, and it was like you knew artists from a long time.
I know, and then you become instant friends, and
Right.
that's what I love about their group is that we're there to support one another. We're there to encourage one another, and the only way that we can do that is by listening to one another. And so one of the things that's important about listening is being truly present, and that means looking at people in the eye, not thinking about something else, like taking a deep breath and really being there with that person, because they can not only feel it like in their body and their energy, but they can sense it and they can see you looking at them. And what that does is it gives them that support that allows them to open up more, to be more vulnerable, and to feel supported throughout that process.
Yeah, totally. And that, I believe it's kind of hard, at least for me, sometimes it's difficult in a world in which notifications, right? Texting, things like that happen. And one of the things that drives me crazy is like when I'm meeting with somebody and if we have a scheduled meeting and the person keeps looking at their phone, that just drives me nuts because that's like, okay, if we are on one-on-one, my time, your time, we gotta respect each other's time. One thing is like, well, maybe before you start, you check it or something, but like all the, you are not giving that person the respect that that person deserves, right? For the time that he or she is giving you by trying to be in multiple meetings at the same time.
Right. You're exactly right. And I think that whenever we're spending time with someone, it's important to check in before and leave some of the anxieties and the pressures of the day behind us so that we can show up and be present with one another. Something that I always do at the start of a meeting was to, ask everyone to take a deep breath. That I know that their blood pressure is probably up because they were in traffic before they got there, but hey, we're here now, and let's honor that time and that space to really be with each other. And so I would really try to set the tone so that people would, really get present with themselves so that they can be present with someone else.
Love that.
And
yeah.
that has really helped our group and to grow, to feel that support and that encouragement. And so that's why we have so many members that come online and share their work, because as an artist, it's very vulnerable to express yourself and your ideas. And right now, so many people have so much passion going through them that is driving them to create. And the topics that they're creating around are so very sensitive that I think it's even more important now that we practice being better listeners. We practice being even more present with ourselves and with others. It's such a critical skill that, believe me, when you start doing it, you're really going to build strong relationships and build a lot of trust. And really, that's what we need.
Absolutely. And I think with everything that's happening, as we look at the news, as we look at, how conversations with people, listening is not only, that one time moment that we can have with somebody, but also respecting the multiple opinions that are out there, which is one of the hardest things right now with so many different opinions and voices. And it's so easy to, when you're listening to somebody, to jump in and want to break in and contradict, or jump in and bring some other ideas or a counter thought and so on. But listening is really about putting your kind of like your voice behind for a minute so that you can actually understand the other person's point of view.
Right. Doesn't listening feel like openness?
Yeah.
And that's what we truly need. People, they want to be seen, they want to be heard, and they want to be understood. But sometimes we don't have the same belief systems.
Right.
And it's important that we give people the opportunity to be seen and heard and understood, but that doesn't mean we have to agree with them. I think what that does is create a platform for us to create more vulnerability, to discuss why is it that we disagree. Because when someone disagrees with you, first thing we do is shut down. Yeah. We feel that judgment and we shut down. But right now we can't shut down anymore. We have to keep continually opening ourselves up. Not like our own hearts especially need to be open, and that's individual work. And then opening and using that work to connect with others in a respectful way. And that over time will get you so far. And I think once we learn to listen, we can actually learn to hear, because just because we're listening to someone doesn't mean we actually hear them. And so it's really important that we fully understand the conversations that we're engaging in, and not just from a shield of, protecting ourselves, but from a space of openness so that we can feel heard at our deepest emotional level, because that's really what's coming up right now. All this vulnerability, all this passion, all this emotion is being exposed, and it's important that we create a safe space for it, because it needs somewhere to go. It needs someone to listen. And the more that we can do that for ourselves and show up for ourselves, the better we're going to be able to do that for others.
Yeah. And I love what you said about, creating a safe space, because that's so important, right? If you don't feel safe in a space, you're not going to share with those who are in that group. And you as being a person who has been, really working with your group and building this amazing community, and also the one on my own, with my community here in Chicago and the online community that we have. Yeah. If we don't care for that group and make sure that it is a safe space where others can come in and hijack, your group, what you've been building out for all these years. So easy for somebody to come in and just hijack that group with negativity, with, just they want to express their opinion and their voice. They don't care about anybody else's. And I know that is very difficult to deal with.
It is, and it happens, unfortunately, but the more that I just continually create a practice to create safety within the group, the more people truly understand why they're there. And so when people who are disrespectful to that mission show themselves, then the community really does back up what we're there to do, and we'll report it or what have you. But I think that the group was started because I'm a trauma survivor and I wanted a community to be with. And I love being around artists because I'm an artist. And so that's why I started it. I wanted to create a safe space for people like me who were artists, who were vulnerable and who wanted to be expressive with things that were really difficult. And so that's what I did. I set that intention and I built it. And so I love that we have a space where people who can, who feel vulnerable can come and feel safe. And I will fight for that until the end, because that's what all human beings need. And I truly just want to protect the community simply by just showing up, being present, listening, and making the mission of why we're there heard continually so that people can truly trust in the relationship that they're having with that community, because we have relationships with ourselves, relationships with others, and relationships with community groups. Mm-hmm. And all of that requires trust, and all of that requires openness. And so the more that we practice that, the stronger community will become.
Right. And particularly now, you know, when we all got confined to our homes, and even as things can open up, but there's still, you know, a sense that, you know, big gatherings are not possible. So all we have is kind of the communities that are built here, right? That are built in a virtual space. And those are still amazing, beautiful communities that, as you said, if they're built correctly, will give us the experience of having a place where we can share, where we can contribute, because I think that's a human need, to feel that you are contributing in some way to something, right? It makes us all feel good, feel happier when we can say something and feels like it's been a contribution. Somebody has acknowledged that. Whether they might agree or not, but they have acknowledged that they heard that voice. And I think that's so important. Yeah, I love that.
Well, connection is everything. And you guys, I'm so glad that we're connecting with you today through this video format, and, you know, to our own individual communities that we run in our cities. But if there's a community that you're a part of and you love, will you please leave a comment with them, tag them, because we would love to share with the communities that we run, other art groups or other places where you're finding support and comfort. This is what we need. We need community right now. We need to come together to build relationships rooted in trust and connection. And I know that we can do that because we're already doing it. And so we just need to keep up the good work.
Keep doing it and keep amplifying it, right?
Yeah. Share those voices that are strong and powerful, that are speaking life and love into the world and in the direction that we all know that we need to be going in. And that's to protect one another and speak up for one another and care for everyone in the ways that we would want to be cared for. And so I'm just so thankful that we can share this with you all today, because it's really important that we just stay the course and keep doing the work. Well, Sergio, how can our friends today learn more about you and the work that you're making? Where can they find you?
Well, since we're talking about community, I'll share a little bit of my community. So you guys can find me online through my Art Next Level community, which is a online platform for artists. It's called The Artist Next Level. You can find it at theartistnextlevel.com. And from there, you can find all the resources, videos, and things that we do, and the community that we are building as well. And if you want to follow me on Instagram, at Sergio Gomez Art.
Perfect. Y'all go follow him, because his posts are great. I love following you, Sergio.
Thank you.
And you guys can find me on Instagram and Facebook at Beth English. That's BETHINGLISH. My website's bethenglish.com. I'd love to get to know you. And
what's your community? Share a little bit about your community.
Oh, yeah. So the Nashville Creative Group is in Nashville, Tennessee. It's like we've collected all the artists in the region, in the Middle Tennessee region. And now we're up to, 9,000 members. And
wow,
so I love that. We are artists, we are creatives, and we're painters, we're storytellers and poets and illustrators. I mean, anything that you can make, people are there doing it. So
very cool. And
I would love for you to check us out.
Super. And they have adopted a few outsiders like me.
Yes, because we love you, and the work that you do impacts us in such positive ways. So thank you for being part of it too.
Thank you. It's an amazing group.
Well, thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.
Goodbye, everybody. Take care. Bye.